Hello one and all, welcome back to yet another movie review, and this time I shall be reviewing Superman, which is directed by James Gunn. It is the beginning of a new DC area, the DC Universe, led by James Gunn himself, coming right after Zack Snyder's DC Extended Universe. And in Superman you have David Cornswet as Superman, and you have Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. You have Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern, and you also have Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, and a bunch more characters in this movie. And guys, since I am late to reviewing Superman, I am in fact going to include spoilers in this review. So in case if you guys have still not seen Superman, I highly suggest you get off of this video and go watch the movie first. But if you don't care, welcome anyways. Just don't spoil it for the people that do care about spoilers anyway. We're good. Excellent movie, Superman. Wow. I really love David Cornswet incarnation as Superman. Very super close to Christopher Reeve's Superman, who to me is still the goated Superman, and probably everybody else is anyway. And although I do think Henry Cavill is a really good Superman, I mean, I've come to appreciate Man of Steel a lot more, because I used to not like it as much when I first watched it, but come to appreciate it a lot more. And for me, Superman the movie from 1978 is still the best Superman movie. And I also really love Superman 2 as well. Haven't watched the Richard Donner cut yet, but will at some point. Superman by James Gunn was really, really good. I loved how comic book live action it was. The most live comic booking action I've seen to a comic book movie probably in a while. And the first thing you see in the trailer is what you first see in the movie, is with Superman in Fortress of Solitude, sort of injured, and then of course you see Krypto the dog trying to save him, of course. And then you do get the iconic shot of Superman, which I will admit, though, it kind of does look a bit cheesy that he's sort of flying towards very close to the camera, if you've seen the trailer before seeing the movie as well. And it, of course, shows in the movie as well. But then again, it's a pretty good shot, I think, anyway. And you get other characters in this movie. You have Nathan Fillion playing a Green Lantern. This time, one of the Green Lanterns is Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner is the Green Lantern in this movie. And then you have Hawkgirl in here, a very well-known character from the Justice League animated series. And then you, of course, have Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. He was so good as Lex Luthor. Wow, he pretty much carries the entire movie. If he didn't have him, this movie probably wouldn't be as good, simply because he really puts so much energy to Lex Luthor. Probably the best incarnation of Lex Luthor I've seen. Like, he really pulled off Lex Luthor extremely, extremely well. And I love the relationship between Clark Kent and Lois Lane. You know, of course, they're having dramatic scenes throughout the movie, but they get along extremely well as it goes along. And then hearing the score is just so great. It's not fully exactly composed by John Williams, but there's aspects to it that truly feel like it's composed by John Williams, and honestly, it's great. And also, I really, really love Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific, what a character he was. I don't really know much about him. However, though, he was definitely one of the highlights in this movie for sure. It's going to be hard to pick a highlight, but he is definitely one of them. And of course, Lex Luthor. But Mr. Terrific was truly spot on in this movie. Of course, they're the Justice Gang. So I doubt there's some origin to Justice League in here, because you of course see the Hall of Justice building. Because if you ever watch any of the older DC shows, they'll probably have shown the Hall of Justice building. And what I really love is the action. The action is just so good and on point, and definitely just feels like you're watching a true comic book movie that's put to live action. And then, of course, we do see Superman getting trapped, and of course experiencing his weakness, kryptonite. And, you know, that really kind of just identifies Superman anyway. I mean, this is kind of very similar to the Batman, where with Matt Reeves, the Batman, he was just only in his second year, but in Superman, to say the least, is pretty much kind of in the same situation. We don't really see an origin story of Superman, kind of like in the Batman, where we don't really see Batman's origin story. And I think having more superhero movies that don't necessarily focus on origin stories is so great, and I'm kind of glad they only sort of hinted a little bit towards near the end of Superman. And of course, I love that you get to see just a little bit of Supergirl at the end of the movie, you know, after all the battles going along. And then you do get a nice mid-credit scene with Superman and Krypto. And yes, this DC universe led by James Gunn definitely has potential being a good universe, I think anyway. So overall, guys, I know I don't spoil a lot, despite what I said at the beginning of the video, but I just thought why not anyway? Just because I'm a bit late to this movie, and I just thought why not? But overall, I thought Superman was just fantastic. There are potentially better comic book movies out there, to my knowledge. I mean, Superman the movie with Christopher Reeve, to me, is still the best. But Superman is pretty close, I think, anyway. And so, and I'm not going to grade Superman, because I think it's just a bit early to grade it to me. But I thoroughly enjoyed Superman, and I look forward to see what James Gunn and the rest of the DC universe has to offer. And there you go, guys. That is my review on Superman. Hope it was okay adding some spoilers in there, because if you watched this video and you didn't see the movie, fair enough, but go watch Superman. Even if you're not Superman fan or into superhero movies, this will truly get you into the comic book world, I think anyway. But comment down below, let me know what you guys think of this movie amongst Superman or DC in general. Let me know below in the comments, and let's have a great discussion down there. And yes, guys, it's been a minute since I've done a YouTube video. Last YouTube video I did was a huge update that I was going to be moving house. So this potentially is going to be my last ever YouTube video shooting in this background. You're going to get a completely different background. I'm going to be in a new house. The YouTube structure will still be the same, but it's going to be in a new location. So hopefully I'll do an announcement as soon as everything in the new house is settled for me. And hopefully we'll continue my YouTube journey from there. You know, I don't want it delaying my YouTube, but it is what it is. So sorry about that, but hope you guys understand. But as always, if you're new, please feel free to comment, like, subscribe, notify that bell before you leave. All of my social media links are in the description below. As I said, if you're new, please feel free to do all those. But if you're a returner, welcome back and hope you're enjoying the content so far. And as always, until my next video, I shall see you then, and peace.